afternoon and welcome another Sunday here on Valley Spotlight.
It is Sunday and my gosh, the folks out here at Montes, we've got Ron, we've got Mary, they have pulled out all the stops for us.
Yep.
And Mike and I have been sort of nibbling even before the show started because we couldn't help ourselves, you guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's been so much fun. Monty's by the lake right here in Cortland. We're right next to Mosquito Lake on the, what are we, on the west side of the lake?
I think so.
I think so, yeah. We're all kind of direction challenged. How long have you guys owned the place? Start with you, Mary.
Since March 1st.
March
of this
1st.
year.
And this was kind of your dream?
Right,
Yes,
Ron? You're a restaurant guy sort of by nature, and this was the thing that you've sort of dreamed about.
I started in restaurants when I was 14 years old, and it's been my dream to buy one ever since.
And how's it going? Was it
Very well.
worth it?
Very well. The community's been really responsive to the fresh ingredients and the new menu, and we really love it. We're having a great time.
It's not just them. It's not just a husband and wife team. Their
Right.
children are here.
That's right.
They've got lots of family that have surrounded them in ways to make sure that this barbecue sauce,
Yes.
these ribs, and these wings, which are gigantic.
We went with garlic parm. How many different flavors do you have?
As many as you want.
Just make it up as we go?
This is, the sign says home cooking, that's what we provide. And if you want ranch, we'll give you ranch, but the staples are the garlic parm and the sweet heat barbecue.
I wondered, was there a name? Is that the name of the barbecue sauce?
Yes, sir.
Whose recipe?
Mine. I've developed that recipe over 20 years.
I gotta take. Sabina had the ribs once, and she ate every single one on the plate, and she's 7.
Nice.
Yeah, she loved them.
What kind of ribs do you use, Ron?
Baby back ribs.
Okay. And then there's a lady that does the desserts.
Yes, so that is Mel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at this
Oh, my
cinnamon roll,
goodness.
Michael.
I know. It's not even in a roll shape. It's like a big cake or something, isn't it?
It looks delicious. And friends of ours told us about these breaded mushrooms. They said we had to come specifically for those, and those are to die for too.
Thank
glad you
you.
like
I'm just gonna keep on
Thank
eating.
you.
It's amazing what you can do with fresh ingredients.
A lot of people want to get out of the restaurant business. You wanted to get in it.
Yes.
Right after the pandemic.
Yes.
In the midst of the
course.
pandemic.
So tell folks why.
Because I believe that if you serve good quality food to people, that they're going to come for it. If you build it, they will come, right? So
Yeah.
it's always been my dream, and I found myself in a position where I was able to purchase the restaurant, and we live above it, so
Oh, really?
the opportunity presented itself, so I had to take it.
You never get away from work though.
No, you don't.
You never get away. Is that okay?
I've been locked inside this building for 5 months, and I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
That is such an unbelievably sweet
You're
statement.
doing a good story. Good
I
job,
like
you
it.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, sit
Speaking
tight.
of great people that have been in the restaurant industry and huge, wonderful people in the Sharon community, Mike, I
Yep.
can't wait to hear about this one.
One of the guys that kind of started the Quaker Steak Lube in downtown Sharon. We've all heard the phrase, it's my way or the highway. Well, this story is, it's Mos Way by the highway.
I was lucky to have a father that was larger than life and able to continue to feel him.
Rachel Mazuris's dad, Gary, passed away 7 years ago in August. If you knew him, you called him Mo. He was one of the founders of the Quaker Steak Lube here in downtown Sharon, and he loved the setting on the banks of the Shenango River.
But he always brought things down to the Shenango River. He started with some other local business people, the water fire event that happens here in Sharon. Always had the small ships review and other things on the Shenango River. So he always said that water brings people together, and so we found it fitting to do a memorial along the river for him.
And here it is, simple but classy, a river walk connecting the road to the water.
Mos Way, my mom always said we got to call it Mos Way because it was always Mos Way. And so we decided to do the river walk here along the beautiful Shenango and give a place for people to relax, fish, talk, and hang out.
This is just one of the things the Mazuris Foundation is doing here in the local community. Mo knew and contributed to so many people. His family wanted to keep that going.
And that's what we've been doing. We've donated over $100,000 over the past couple years to local charities, over $50,000 during COVID.
But it's this walkway that really brought it all together. The ribbon cutting finally took place at the end of June. A long time in the making, but just the beginning.
A lot of the people that have donated, Chamber of Commerce, City of Sharon, etc. So it was a big gathering, and then we had a little bit of a party afterwards, and The official public opening was the July 3rd firework event down here. This is just phase one. It took a very long time. We've been working on it for over 6 years, try to get the property and everything taken care of, working with the EPA and everything else to get the proper permitting.
For Rachel, that day was wonderful and emotional.
Both. I have days that are harder than others, and it is those days that we really get a bunch of people together to celebrate him, because I know that he would be proud and he would be enjoying the party right along with his best friends and family, and it's definitely emotional, and he's missed, but I can feel him every day.
What would he think of this?
He would love it. He would love it. We'll be sitting down here this coming Saturday for water fire along the river walk and one of the benches for sure.
All right, their next big event is called Mardi Gras.
I love that. How sweet.
If you want to find out more, it's on August 11th, but mosfund.org is the foundation, and you can choose to chip in and enjoy. And when you go down the loop, take the walk.
Pretty special. Very, very special. When we come back, we're going to be talking lots of different kinds of foods and how they get it to your plate in a place that I think you've been a couple times, Mike.
I've been, yeah.
All right.
We'll find out.
No hot water? Call A to Z Dependable Services. Our fully stocked rapid response water heater specialist will get you back in hot water in no time. A to Z is the only call you need to make.
Only A to Z.com.
Papa Canzonetta's peppers, recipe established in 1975. A family secret is now yours to share with the people who add spice to your life. Choose from mild and hot versions, plus our famous original blend too. They're the perfect punch for any dish. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We've got the recipes to prove it. Just follow us on Facebook. Order online at papacans.com and pick your peck. papacans.com. Order 6 jars or more and qualify for free shipping. We like it hot. We're glad you do too.
Welcome back, Michael.
Yeah, here we are, Monty's by the lake, next to Mosquito Lake here in Cortland.
Delicious food. And speaking of delicious food, have you ever been to McDonald's?
I've been there a few times, yes.
Have you ever been to Chipotle?
Thousands, yes.
Well, these people, not only do they go to McDonald's and go to Chipotle, but they make sure that that Big Mac is the best Mac.
Ooh.
Anderson-DuBose. If you've never heard of them, well, now you have.
Chances are good that when you order anything from McDonald's or Chipotle, someone who works for Anderson-DuBose in Lordstown, Ohio, had something to do with making sure that your Happy Meal is in fact happy and that your burrito is anything but boring.
We are actually privileged to be the chosen Supplier of the Year last year for McDonald's, which is a huge accomplishment and quite attributed to what we do and all the beautiful associates that we have that work here and how great of a job they do to get to that level. So that was a distinct honor that was put upon us in 2021. And then Chipotle back-to-back came and gave us that award for the second time in 3 years. So that was a remarkable accomplishment, but it's really attributed to what the associates here do.
But did you know that your order might only exist because this man, Warren Anderson, was fired from a career that had nothing to do with food? Food for thought, so to speak.
Well, I was in media, various aspects of broadcasting. And I got fired. I didn't dream of being an entrepreneur. I just knew that after I got fired, I never wanted to work for anybody. And I wanted to create my own organization. I really didn't care what kind of field it was in, but I targeted a handful of businesses. It took me 2 years to do a leverage buyout.
Warren learned to leverage 2 big things from his career in media: how to research and how not to treat people. And decades later, the team he put together is now the industry leader in distributing everything and anything that 2 of the biggest brands on planet Earth depend on. And everyone has a favorite menu item, even Warren, after all these years.
I'm either a double cheese guy.
Me too. What do you think is about that double cheeseburger that makes it so good?
It just has a great flavor. Now, I wouldn't put the quarter pounder down, but it's not as big as a quarter pounder. It's small, lots of cheese. It just has good flavor, and
As we all know, freshness is the key, so time is the key to that. So here, money and time is spent on making sure every aspect of this organization is operating on all cylinders. Pun intended.
Well, the quality of products kind of speaks for itself. And obviously when you're dealing those type of quality products, you want to have quality individuals and you want to have quality equipment. So we wash our equipment, obviously depending on weather, how often we can do that. But we keep the insides of the trailers swept out and clean. We keep our tractors clean. All the MHE equipment is maintained continuously to make sure that it's working functionally. So we give the tools to our associates, the proper tools to be able to do their job, which then enables us to service the customers at that high level.
The 200,000 square foot facility works like an engine of sorts. Each warehouse, each department depends on each other and technology to ensure every bun, every burger, and every single bell pepper is delivered to their customers in the best possible manner. Lordstown, Ohio was the first point of sales to create this solid supply chain.
Our owner, Warren Anderson, who's a tremendous individual, actually came to the network in 1991. He first had a facility in Solon, Ohio, and then he purchased another facility in Carnegie, PA. So when he looked at that, the economy of scale just made it a natural choice to come to Lordstown with the rail spur, with the interchanges, with the expressway that's here, and the footprint of where we serve. We're servicing 470 McDonald's restaurants through 4 states, and we're servicing over 160 Chipotle restaurants in those same 4 states. So it just made a good sense and a good business decision to come here. We came here in 2012. We were a little bit over 150,000 square feet, and in 2017, we expanded to be over 200,000 square feet. When McDonald's went to the fresh beef in 2018 and took all the preservatives out of the buns in 2017, we expanded our freezer to accommodate both.
And the best part might be that this company has kicked into high gear to hire even more people onto their world-class and award-winning team. And that might be something to bark about, since this place goes above and beyond for the people who ensure our orders are extraordinary.
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons that we are the place that I think people should want to work. And most of the time when people get in the door and actually work here, they recommend people. Sometimes even if people decide to leave because they feel they have a better opportunity, a lot of times they end up knocking on our door again because they realize, you know what, I should have stayed at Anderson-DuBose. For a lot of reasons. Our benefits are great, top of the line, best in the market. In most cases, there's not a lot of people who have better benefits than us as far as cost, as far as richness of benefits. So that is really important to us, and we pay most of the costs for our employees because we want them to have great benefits for themselves and their family.
I wanted to create the kind of organization that I would want to work in. And I wanted to set clear goals, but we are really, really people focused in addition to doing the job. And I think as you walked around, you get a sense of it that people are happy to come to work here. That makes me feel good.
How about that?
Yeah, I think I asked him when I met him if he knew he had a radio voice.
He most
or like
certainly does.
A broadcasting voice.
It's a truly special team out there. Just look them up, Anderson-DuBose.com, or look them up on Indeed if you want to join that team. I feel like I would join the team. Yeah. After being there that day, I was like,
I see you drive one of those big trucks full of fries.
I would do this. But then we wouldn't get to hang out with Mark Canzonetta and our good friend Guy Hughes.
That's
as
true.
much as we do. And that is what we're doing in Pestos Test Kitchen.
Pestos Test Kitchen. We are out in the backyard. The lovely weather, the lovely people.
God, it's so nice to be outside.
What a wonderful day.
What do you think? We've got Melissa Canzonetta, Chef Mark Canzonetta, as always, and our special guest this week, everybody.
The Guy Hughes.
Hey.
The one.
My brother from another mother.
Absolutely.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Welcome to the Test Kitchen.
Hey, it's a pleasure being a part of your success story.
Well, no, we both grew up and, you know, we paid our dues.
We paid our dues.
We paid our dues. So, man, tell me a little about what's going on in your life, Guy. Tell me a little bit about how your brand went from a small thing in your house at home to a national brand.
Well, first of all of my sauces began just like you're getting ready to do here, built from the scratch. And then I had a vision, what I wanted to do, and it was really tough, but you know what, I got knocked down a lot of times, but I picked myself up by my bootstraps.
And that's what it's all about, man, perseverance, man.
Absolutely.
When somebody tells you no, you say, yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
But yes, I can. So what is your newest sauce? I mean, I know you have a whole line of sauces. I know your sugar-free sauces are killing it across the nation.
Sugar-free sauce has actually gone wild. I have two lines. This is my regional, then I have a national line, which is Hughes. And it is actually number 5 on the Nielsen data. It's just growing like crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Awesome.
You're making some people. You're making some people nervous out there.
Hey, that's okay.
That's what we do, right? That's what we do in Youngstown. We make people
all
nervous
right
out
here in the
there.
Mahoning Valley. We
Right
love it.
here.
We love it. We love it. So we're going to talk about making some barbecue, man. So, you know, a few culinary tips we're going to do today. You and I are going to make some rubs because that to me is one of the bases for barbecue.
Absolutely.
You got to have a good rub on your meat. And so I'm going to start off. I'm going to make a yellow mustard rub. So,
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. So we're going to start off with some sugar, some salt, cayenne pepper, ground cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper and smoked paprika.
What do you think on this, Guy?
I tell you what, I'm impressed.
Some turmeric. And then to make it a yellow mustard rub, you got to have some dry mustard. You really do. And you just mix that together real quick.
We're so lucky.
And this is good on pork. This is good on a pork butt. This is good on chicken. I've even put it on short ribs, Guy. So I really love the flavors of it. It's well balanced. It kind of represents Carolina, and I love Carolina barbecue.
Well, you know what? You can't go wrong with Carolina.
All right, so why don't you assemble the more of a Memphis, St. Louis style rub that's typical everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
So it's a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy. So we got some chili powder, some paprika, some sugar.
Well, we will start with the sugar.
Yep.
We'll put it right in there.
Start with the sweetness.
Hey, there we go.
Chili powder.
Chili powder.
I'll hold this.
Cayenne. Got to have that cayenne for a little spice. A little cumin. You know, you got that earthiness of that cumin flavor.
There you go. Doesn't that look wonderful?
That does look wonderful.
That looks good.
Now you got to have onion and garlic. For sure.
You can't go wrong with the garlic. There's no such thing as too much garlic.
You know, and mustard really is a key part to barbecue. No matter where you're doing it, whether you're rubbing your meat with it or you're putting it on a rub, mustard is really a big part of barbecue sauce. So you just mix that together and look at those colors, those flavors, those spices all together. And then once you mix that with the smoking process and then you mix it with the grilling process and then you top it with his barbecue sauce, it's in another league.
People are wondering, Mark, okay, you got quite the setup here and like it is amazing for us to be here, but you have everything you could possibly need. Some people have a smoker at home and there are ways, there are do's and don'ts when it comes to setting this thing up. Take me through the process in order to get us to the point where we can like rub and then smoke the meat. Because I think we've got rubbing to do, right?
The most important thing is you don't have to spend a lot of money. Like, what was your first smoker?
My first smoker was a 55-gallon drum.
My first smoker was a kind of a barrel system too, and then I bought a smoking box. I got my Sawzall out and I cut a hole in the side of it, attached my smoker box, put a chimney tube on it, and that was my first smoker. So you don't have to spend a lot.
But the one that you have today is pretty darn good, and
it's a vertical smoker. You know, we're going to talk about it. You know, with a vertical smoker, you know, you have your tall box, and then you have a smoking box on the side. You know, and a big thing for me and a big thing for Guy is we like to cook with moisture. So talk to me a little bit about your theory on moisture and what it does for the meat.
Well, if you don't have the moisture, what ends up happening, I don't care if it's beef, if it's chicken, if it's fish, if it's ribs, they will dry out.
Exactly.
It helps you maintain the heat. You want a low, slow heat. And with that moisture in there, it's awesome.
And then plus, while we have the moisture in the water box, you also use a spray bottle.
I use a spray bottle. In the final process, which I'll show you briefly.
Now, do you use just straight water, or do you use water, a little cider vinegar?
Water, a little cider vinegar,
okay.
which is a natural tenderizer in itself.
Exactly.
Now, how do you get the fire started?
How do you get the fire started? Well, we have it going over here. We have it under the box, and we'll talk about it. We bought a chimney. It's called a chimney, and it's a round device, and then the bottom of it, I mean, I'll pull it out if you want me to.
Okay.
Yeah, so give me a second. Let me get a towel, because it's really hot. because we have it and it's started and it's ready. So we have this chimney smoker right here, and in it we had a little bit of paper at the bottom, we have charcoal, and then we have a little bit of apple wood up top. So we get this because we don't want to necessarily use charcoal lighter fluid. So this is about a $10 investment. You know, get yourself some good charcoal briquettes, and then you don't have to use lighter fluid. You just use, you know, whether you use a blowtorch to light it or just a match underneath here to light it. It goes for about 10 minutes and you'll be ready to smoke.
All right.
So we're going to take this and we're going to put it in our smoker.
I mean, I had to say it.
Yeah. So, but I think
smoke and mirrors, right?
Smoke and mirrors, exactly. So, do you want to build a barbecue sauce?
Let's build it.
Let's do it.
We'll talk about how do you build your barbecue sauces. Talk to me about more. I'm going to build a Carolina barbecue sauce, but talk to me about how you do a traditional, whether it's Memphis, St. Louis, Guy Hughes barbecue sauce.
One of the toughest things for me is to have something that really is appealing to me. I think if I like it, I think majority of the people would like it.
Okay.
So, you know, I start with some of the craziest things in the world. I open up my refrigerator and said, that looks good. That looks good. So I just start putting it on the counter. You think I'm a mad scientist, but at the end, I've come up with all these different flavor profiles.
So do you start with like a pre-made ketchup, or do you make your own kind of ketchup with tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, sugar, and water?
Initially, I started with a pre-made ketchup because I didn't have the ingredients to make my own ketchup. And once I started using my own ketchup, and in the R&D now, actually we make our own ketchup.
Right.
But initially it was a regular ketchup, regular tomato paste.
Well, the great thing about when you do your own ketchup, you know, as a lot of us know, ketchup for our children, they love it, and it's one of my favorite condiments as well. But it has all that HFC, high fructose corn syrup.
Absolutely.
You know, when you're doing it yourself, you can use agave nectar, you can use honey to make ketchup, or you could use just good old sugar. You know what I mean?
And when we come back, I was going to say, you are going to do all of it,
Yep.
and then some, and then the Sweet Thunder sweet tea with Sweet Melissa.
Wow, I
Is that
love
okay?
it.
It's gonna be a party.
That's me.
I'm gonna say beyond belief. So stick with us. Don't worry. We'll be right back. More on how to make these unbelievable sauces and how these rubs
the
are
guy
work.
Hughes right here.
This is the guy, the one and only.
Thank you.
For nearly 80 years, Cafe 422 has been the Valley's premier destination for steaks, seafood, and fine Italian cuisine. Join us at Cafe 422 for lunch, dinner, and all of your special occasions. Cafe 422 in Warren and Boardman.
Welcome back. We are at Montes by the lake in Mosquito Lake in Cortland, and they're open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. every day if you want breakfast. We've chosen lunch and dinner and dessert.
Yes, we have. All right, from home-cooked food to fast food, we're dedicating this whole show to the things that really make the world tick when it comes to this stuff.
The things that matter.
And
food.
I don't know about you, but I can never say no to an Arby's roast beef sandwich, and this is the history behind it.
Oh.
I've had big burgers before, but never with flavor like this.
The Barn Buster. For ladies and little folks, we'll cut it in half.
Franchising in the 1960s and 70s was like the Wild West, with almost every concept or famous face trying for major success. How many of you remember Minnie Pearl's Chicken, or Lum's Hot Dogs, or going to a Jerry Lewis cinema? Many of these ventures didn't last very long, but two brothers from Youngstown, Ohio struck gold with their franchising idea. Our friends at Metro Monthly got an interview with a few of the people involved with the founding of the Arby's roast beef chain, and here is what they had to say.
They thought we were nuts because we were in the restaurant equipment business and supporting our families and educating our children, and in order to develop Arby's, we had to drop the equipment business and go into Arby's, which was a new startup. So by the time we opened the first store, we had already destroyed our previous business. And our families didn't think too much of it, but that's what we did. Fast foods, although they had been around for quite some time, were not as important in the economy as they are today. McDonald's was a strictly carry-out operation. You stepped up into the store, but there were no seats, and they sold a hamburger for 15 cents. And Kentucky Fried Chicken was a menu item in restaurants, and they had not yet started their independent stores. Burger King was around. They weren't around here very much, so I can't tell you about them. But it was quite revolutionary to be starting with a 69-cent sandwich against McDonald's at 15 cents. We determined that people liked a thinly sliced roast beef sandwich on a nice bun, and we felt that they would pay the price for it. We priced it according to the cost. So we had to get 69 cents. We couldn't get 15 cents for a roast beef sandwich, but people really were enthusiastic about it, and we did a very good business. We had been in the restaurant equipment business. We designed restaurants, that's what we did. So we did the basic design, however we hired an architect to design a building around our concept. So the building itself was really upscale. It had a natural sandstone wall in the back, a curved ceiling with recessed lights. There was piped in music. There was a glass enclosed rotisserie with a beautiful roast revolving. Our counter attendants were attired in chef's uniforms.
You know, the amazing thing is the company was growing so quickly. You could not ever get bored. It was a new company every 6 months by virtue of growth. Whatever you could contribute, there was a receptive audience in top management. Leroy Raffle was an advocate, certainly, for anything I could do.
There were a number of companies, McDonald's including one of them, like the Heap Big Beef, to try to imitate what we were doing. And the operation is complex because we were cooking fresh, and the restaurant would open and say, for employees' perspective, at about 7 o'clock in the morning, they start cooking the beef. We anticipate what your volume is going to be that day, and you cooked accordingly. Then every hour they adjusted their cooking, either too much or too little. And but Arby's product was always fresh and nutritious, and different than just putting a hamburger on the grill. If you overcook it, you know, no big deal. If you undercooked it, well, no big deal. And but if you did that with roast beef, all your profits would go up the chimney and smoke if you overcooked it and so forth.
Arby's had invested a lot of thought in taking the bull by the horns and saying, how can we make a product that is uniform in size, shape, consistent in flavor, and can be available to an entire chain as we grow. There was not enough roast beef, whole muscle roast to serve a chain growing as rapidly as we were. And that's why the 25 competitors that Arby's had virtually spawned with its success never survived. They couldn't solve that problem. Arby's solved it, but they had a language problem. So one day I'm sitting at my desk and at the new headquarters on Belmont, and I left, got in the car, drove to the nearest supermarket, and I said, okay, something in this supermarket has the same ingredients Arby's has added. Salt, water, phosphate, no more than 9%. And there, to my amazement, was the wonderful prime quality self-basting turkey. So I went back to headquarters, wrote up all the collateral materials. This is what we have, Arby's self-basting beef roast. Presented that to management, they bought it, and we could go to the state of California, who was insisting that we put Arby's chunked and formed beef for roasting on the menu. and on this sign. And I said, but here is our new label. And that ended the issue.
And Mike, did you know the Raffle Brothers, they were inspired by a place called Kelly's Roast Beef in Massachusetts.
How about that? Back in the 50s, right?
And they waited in line one night when nothing was open, and then eventually that's what brought Arby's to Youngstown. And Kelly's,
the rest of the world.
Yeah, and Kelly's is going to franchise here for the first time ever in like 71 years.
Wow.
You talk about crazy,
I'd
right?
like to concentrate, but Mel just gave me a piece of homemade apple pie, and I'm kind of busy.
All right.
But speaking of Kelly's,
Kelly Warren and Associates, they're on fire. And if you are thinking about maybe like a multi-family home because you've got a huge family, or you're not sure what you could do with all these extra people in your life, she has a solution for you.
all right, we're back here with Kelly Warren, another edition of Home Advantage, and this one is interesting. So we get to the garage of this place in Howland, and there's 2 doors to go in. And we didn't know which one to pick.
I like to surprise you.
Turns out they were both correct.
Right.
You were surprised too a little bit, weren't you?
Yes.
So let's talk about 2 different houses in the same house. This is like, they call it a mother-in-law suite, but this is on steroids. I mean, this is an extra whole place you could live, right?
Yeah, I've seen mother-in-law suites that have literally been a bedroom and a bathroom.
Right.
And then there's this place where you've got a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, a family room, a bedroom, a bathroom, your own porch, an entrance, and garage.
Right.
So
exercise room.
Yes,
the whole thing.
It's practically 2 complete houses joined together.
In fact, it's this door goes across, and then boom, and then if you walk in here, you're in a different house.
Right.
And
Here we
in a
go.
different kitchen.
Start all over again.
Is this what's coming around these days, or is this just a good idea the person had, or what do you think?
Well, it's been around for years, but I think in the economic flare that the world's in right now, I think it's certainly helpful. If you can save costs by having 2 families or 2 generations of one family under one roof, you know, imagine the savings that you can have and the time that you can spend together and apart, and you know, be able to look after one another and things like that. So
is it called cohabitating, or is there a term for it that you know of?
well, so if you're using it with, you know, essentially a relative, I think that's a good term.
Okay.
If you're using it to save or make a little bit of money, if you have extra space in your house and you want to rent out a room or a section of your house, people call that house hacking in the investing world.
So, but even though there are 2 homes here, they pay 1 house payment and 1 set of taxes and all that stuff, right?
So this is a single family home, not a duplex, and so it is regular traditional residential. Although if this were in an area zoned for duplexes, where that pocket door is, could easily become a wall, and this house is set up to be able to be both.
Yeah, which brings in a whole nother set of questions about
We do another
renting
segment.
and people that come to
Right.
rent and things like that. What a great property, though, huh?
It is, yes.
Yeah, very cool. All right, let's give the folks the information that they might need if they want to check out this home or all the great homes you have on the internet.
This property is available right now, 7988 Raglan in Howland.
Okay.
You can find it online at kellysoldit.com.
Yeah, it's off right off 46, kind of like beyond Leon's, a little bit north of that.
Yep, easy access, great neighborhood.
And you have pictures of all your properties on the website,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So kellysoldit.com, and then the phone number one more time.
330-717-2689.
All right, check it out, and all the other great things they have with Kelly Warren and Associates, and they have a new office up in this part of the country too. Of course. Not too far away. That's another edition of Home Advantage.
Salt Me is a company that produces products that are made out of Himalayan sea salt. I have a love affair with Himalayan sea salt. And as an ear, nose, and throat doctor, the most important thing for me is that the products are going to be effective and that they're going to be safe for patients. So I make products that help sinus conditions, and I make products that are going to be good for the skin and good for the body. And all of them are made of Himalayan sea salt.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight. Here we are in Mosquito Lake.
Are you full?
Montes by the lake.
You're so
I hope you're enjoying Sunday dinner. I know I am.
Oh my goodness. Well, Sunday dinner, maybe you're having some fresh fruits and vegetables, and if they came from Angiuli's farm market, how they make sure that the water and the crops are perfect. When you see the irrigation system, Mike, it is wow worthy. Well, everybody is talking about it. We've had a beautiful summer. Not a whole lot of rain.
No, it's dry.
No.
You know, your gardens are dry. The fields here on the farm are dry, so we need water, irrigation.
And that...
Or at home, just a little bit of water with your hose to keep those plants going.
Yes, people are out in their gardens almost every day watering, but on the scale that is Angiuli's farm market, how do they do it? I've never seen this part of their business before, and I thought it was pretty interesting. You know, I'm not a farmer, so the idea of getting the garden hose is about as far as my brain goes. But this
is a big undertaking here.
This is your garden hose.
Yeah, it's our garden. It's 4 inches of water going up from the pumps up to the vegetable beds, the raised beds. There's irrigation under each bed, and then there's filters there where we pump the water up to the filters, it filters, and then it goes to wherever it needs to go. There's different zones whenever you're watering certain areas. The tomatoes require a little bit more water than the peppers, and you know, the eggplant require more water than your cucumbers and pickles. So everything's zoned off, and everything has hose irrigation underneath the bed, so it goes right in the soil. It's not lost to evaporation. And
right, when you drive past on 80, sometimes you see, you know, these giant, you know, crop,
irrigation.
Waterers.
Yes.
Waterers.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Irrigators.
Irrigators. Let's get it together.
Yes.
And I wonder, where does it come from? And then I asked him just before we started to start today, where the water source comes from, if you have to have a water source.
Yes.
And this is yours.
This is ours, and everybody that does vegetables, 90% of us have to have a water source so we can get a yield. Just like out of your garden, this time of year you got to water it to get to your yield, because if not, then Mother Nature is going to burn it up.
So you said that sometimes you can get away with sweet corn.
Yeah.
Sometimes
like
without it having an irrigation system.
Late fall, you know, you don't have to really irrigate because we get timely rains and it's not as hot. So, you know, late fall, you're picking sweet corn in September and October, you don't need the irrigation. But July, August, you got to have the water on your sweet corn, your tomatoes, your peppers, your just everything, right? Even watermelon, cantaloupe. You know, if people think watermelon, cantaloupe, you know, they need the water.
All water. It's like, you know,
gotta have that water.
What makes it so sweet and so good.
And so this is kind of the process. You'll see up top the filters, and then you'll see the lines that go right underneath the beds, and it's awesome. And we can like fertilize, just like you guys put Miracle Grow on your garden.
You could put that right in there.
Same thing, and we could put right to where the roots are. And so there's, you know, it's very efficient, it's very environmentally friendly because it's right at the roots in the soil, so the plants can uptake the nutrients.
Is this how it's always been your entire life, or has it evolved since you started?
It actually has been. I mean, it's gotten more efficient, but we've always done it that way on the vegetable side.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting stuff, Carl.
Yes.
That's what makes everything that you find in their produce department and at their market up there, it's just literally over this bend right here. It makes everything so fresh and so good. So people that want to come and take a visit and walk through the greenhouse and see what you guys have to offer over here on 46.
Right here on 46. Come and see us, 9600 State Route 46, and then check the Facebook page on the updates of what's going on.
Sounds good, Carl. Thanks for sharing us.
Yeah, that's good to have you guys here.
Absolutely, such a treat. So thank you.
That's why they don't care if it doesn't rain. You got a whole lake?
They just turn it on right underneath it.
That's right.
All right, let's head out back to Pestos Test Kitchen, with our good friend Guy Hughes. All right, boys and girls, we are back. The meat is here. The rub is here.
And we're going to combine the two together.
We're
going to combine the two together.
About that, are you? Yeah.
So,
okay, good.
Guy, let's talk about like ribs and different methodologies for cooking ribs. Okay, and some people like to keep the silver skin on, which is the membrane right here. It can be a little bit tough, or some people like to take the skin off, So tell me a little bit about your views on what that means.
Well, I like to keep the skin on, especially for competition, because it helps lock in the moisture. Excuse me. Ribs don't dry out. Chicken, you don't have to worry about it. But Mark, show them how to pull it off.
So you can use anything. You can use the back of a knife with a towel to make sure you're safe. Or Myron Nixon invented this great little tool. You just take it and you just rip it. Kind of rips that skin right off. As you can see, that silver skin pulls right off. Right. So you can eat this. I mean, it's fine, or you can take it off. And
Mark, your school of thought though is that
I
take it off.
I take it off because I like to permeate the rub all the way through.
Okay.
I like the flavor of the rub all the way through, and that's just mine. So we're just two different schools of thought. You know, you can do it whatever way you want to.
And two different reasons behind it. When
Exactly.
you're serving, 800,
So, I mean, I think one thing, we got to agree on everything. The one thing we do is you got to be liberal with the rub, right?
You got to put it on there.
So you take care of those chickens with the yellow mustard, and I'll take care of the Memphis-style St. Louis rub here.
It's like, I don't want to.
This is one thing I can do.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't
Hey, you
know.
want to help?
Get in there.
Right in there. Come on.
Come on.
Exactly. Again, you want to be liberal. You want to cover every piece and part of it. You know, and actually in competition, a lot of time they shake the rub on the meat after it's already barbecued, right?
Yes.
Now, is that your style?
No.
Okay.
They don't have anything on us.
No.
We're good.
So do we have to like lift the little like wings up and stuff?
You can tie those wings
All right.
back. You
Tie
can
'em with-
pigeon them
there's
back.
See, there's like little
Oh,
guys.
we gotta
yeah.
do this too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
While they're doing that, I'm going to make a barbecue sauce.
And one of the good things about this, the longer you can let that sit in there.
Yeah, if you want to let it sit in your cooler overnight, it's even better because it permeates through. So I'm going to make a yellow mustard barbecue sauce. It's kind of a Carolina, Texas thing. It's becoming very, very popular. So we have the burner set up here. We're going to start with some rice vinegar, okay? You can use cider vinegar. I like the rice vinegar in this. So we're going to start off with the rice vinegar. You know we're cooking with heat. We got a lot of steam going there. You can use honey. You can use sugar. I like agave nectar. It's a very neutral, very soluble sweetener, and it goes in really, really well. We're going to get some hot sauce. Whether you like your favorite brand or whatever, put some hot sauce in there. Of course, we're going to use some mustard. And then we're going to add some brown mustard seeds.
Wow.
Some more hot sauce, a little bit of hotter hot sauce. And sometimes I use habanero sauce, so I really want to kick. Some chili flakes, because you guys know I love the spice. Some black pepper. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And of course, a nice little pinch of salt. We're just going to bring this to the boil, let it simmer for about 10 minutes, and it's ready to rock and roll. It's ready to, once you get your ribs or your chicken or your pork shoulder out of the smoker and you're going to the grill, you can just start mopping and slopping with this right away. And that's what I think we're going to do next.
Very good. All right, we'll be right back. More to come with this unbelievable recipe and these unbelievable chefs, and a great cocktail coming up next.
All right.
We have such a legacy, created such a legacy here in the Valley, and we're very well respected by numerous manufacturers in the industry. We're a leader in our industry, and I want to continue that. We want to continue that, and we want to take it to the next level. Whatever that level may be, we're ready for it.
So let yourself go to Duca. Let yourself go to Duca.
A to Z Dependable Services now offers walk-in tubs and showers in as little as 1 day. Let us create a safer bathing experience in your bathroom or the shower of your dreams. Call A to Z Dependable Services today for a free estimate or visit us online at onlyatoz.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I'm constantly asked by news sources how to best navigate today's real estate market. I call the brightest agents in the business to get their input. Hi, Kelly. What's going on in the Mahoney Valley area?
Hi, Barbara. The market in the Mahoning Valley has remained strong.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Sellers are enjoying the safety of the Guaranteed Sold program, and buyers and sellers love the 3D tour and the free moving truck.
Get the best advice from my friend Kelly Warren. Go to kellysoldit.com. Be safe and smart.
Hughes is the low-cost living anti-inflation department store.
Shop Hills in the Liberty, Lincoln Knolls, and Boardman Plaza's Youngstown, and the Ridgeview Plaza in Warren, and the Hills location in Champion, all open 10 till 10 daily.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness, you guys.
Look at those ribs, guy.
I can't even believe it.
I love it. I love it.
All of the stuff that you guys just took us through, I'll tell you what, it's all coming together right there.
It sure is. It sure is. That's years of diligent practice and guy just loving his craft. You know, these ribs are perfectly cooked. Cooked them on the smoker for about 2.5 hours. Then, guy, we transferred them over here to a very, very hot grill because we wanted to caramelize that barbecue sauce, your beautiful barbecue sauce. That Sweet Thunder.
Crazy,
and then we got one more rack we can pull off, and we got some chickens. Got that beautiful rack coming off now.
There we go, look at that.
Look at that. Okay, and we'll pull those chickens off. I'll set this over here. Guys got some chickens too.
Unbelievably good looking.
Set up those chickens real quick.
Looks great. Melissa's getting ready to make a new Valley Classic drink, a Guy Hughes original.
Is it terrible that I just want to get video of this for myself?
No.
That. It's so beautiful.
Look at that. Perfect cut, my friend. Perfect cut. That looks great.
This is hard work, you guys.
Okay, man, I'm just gonna put a little bit mop and slop on that. We're gonna bring this over here to the gang. And then we're gonna talk about, Guy, you got another little trick up your sleeve over here.
Absolutely.
For a quick pulled pork sandwich.
And what we do is we take pork butt, freeze it, and once it's frozen, then we take it and put it on a meat slicer and slice it up real thin. We put it on
And
the
pork
grill.
shoulder is such a reasonable value for your
yeah.
family. You can feed a lot of people for $14.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. Now, do you barbecue sauce this?
I do.
Okay,
So
cool.
what we're gonna do is put it in there. Why don't we try it with the Sweet Thunder?
To try it with the Sweet Thunder, man.
Crack open a ball of that Sweet Thunder.
Okay. Liberal?
Liberal.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You can put more.
More. All right.
Use it all.
Woo! That grill is nice and hot. All right. So over here, we got those beautiful baby back ribs, spare ribs. We got the yellow mustard barbecue sauce. Guy's gonna come over here with some pulled pork. Melissa, what drink are you making today?
Actually, after the barbecue sauce, the new Sweet Thunder.
The Sweet Thunder barbecue sauce for a Sweet Thunder what?
Guy Hughes loves the Long Island.
Yes, he does.
And it is summertime, and I thought some nice peach tea Long Island would be fabulous.
I think that'd be great.
All right,
So
so what
walk
goes in
us
the
through it,
drink?
honey.
Okay, so fresh peaches, you have to have fresh peaches.
So peeled fresh peaches.
I peel them.
Great.
You don't have to, but I thought that would be good. Whenever I muddle simple syrup, it just helps along the way, and it's going to give it a nice sweet taste.
Well, Guy, you like sweet drinks, don't you?
I'm happy.
Doesn't that look good?
I'm happy already.
So you got to have a good muddler. That's more like a baseball bat. I don't know if that's a muddler. Is that like from a little league team or what?
When I'm behind the bar at Bistro, I always use a baseball bat.
That way people get out of hand.
So when you're muddling that you're getting all those flavors and the sugars from those peaches, those beautiful. Make sure you use ripe peaches as well. And you know, in the wintertime when we don't have fresh peaches, you can use frozen peaches.
I have to send this to my mother because the reason I'm taking video, I'm going to send it to Kathy Hermrich because my goodness, when she sees fresh ingredients that are like the front and center of any cocktail,
right?
And then she knows the people, people enjoy the elements of what makes it special.
Okay.
And you're doing it.
A lot of eggs.
All right.
Okay.
What's next?
So with a Long Island, we have rum, which we are actually using the spiced rum. Cointreau, which is way more awesome than triple sec.
Way more awesome, everybody.
I cannot see these.
Vodka and gin.
Gin and tequila. So
all together, and then you made your own special
I already
blend.
had it.
Oh my God.
Go a little bit more. We got barbecue. Go a little heavy.
Well, I do have a little bit of sour I have to put in.
Okay. So that's fresh made sour. We make that with orange juice, lime juice, lemon juice, and a little bit of simple syrup. And you're gonna shake that together, honey?
Give it a shake. You have to have a little bit of frothy.
All right, beautiful. And because it's barbecue, you got a nice ball jar, like old school. So we're gonna give that to Guy, and you're gonna tell us what you think. Because I think we got some friends here that want to eat some barbecue.
Yeah, you think we got a couple of
just a little club soda to give it a little fizz,
right?
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, get in there because we're gonna get in here on some ribs.
Than that.
All right.
All right, everybody.
All right, here's to you. Thank you, Guy.
Every single person that made this possible.
I can't stop myself.
Ray Boo Boo Mancini, the entire gang that's hanging out with us today to make this better. My goodness, cheers to you guys. Melissa, we were sharing this just a little bit. So say you
Ray,
take this. I'm gonna take a.
This isn't Sicilian.
No, but that's.
But this is Soul Cillian.
All right.
That's
Cheers,
right on.
everybody.
Cheers.
All right.
We had a great time today.
Salute.
Happy summer, everybody. Pestos
Welcome to
Test
summer.
Kitchen, and thank you, Guy, and thank you, Ray.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Oh my, is that good?
All right. Till next time, everybody.
Oh my God.
RC Compounding specializes in preparing affordable and natural hormone replacement therapy just for you.
I was spinning my wheels before. I didn't know what was wrong, and now I feel I have a sounder mind. You know, I can sleep better. You know, when your hormones are off, your whole body is off, your mind is off. So I feel a lot better. I feel like I can do anything.
RC Compounding, we care about your health.
Well, DuCut not only sells the product, but we service them. We have parts and service support for every machine that you buy at DuCut. You are purchasing a machine, it's eventually going to break or need work, and we are here to do that. You don't get that from an online sale or a mass merchant. They just don't have the ability to have the parts and the service. We send our mechanics to school every year. We have 2 Briggs & Stratton master service technicians. There are not many in the country, probably less than 5,000 in the country, and we have 2 at DuCut. And we also have gold certified steel mechanics and numerous certifications in parts and service for every brand that we carry.
So let yourself go to DuCut. Let yourself go to DuCut.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight. Before we say goodbye, you know when you were a kid and you had to go to church? And how it probably wasn't so much fun.
Not my all-time favorite, but I did go.
At Rust City, they make sure that the little ones are not just included, but it's something to remember.
Raise your hand if Sunday school was something that you remember fondly. Raise your hand if you're now a parent hoping to instill faith in your children. And maybe raise your hand if you haven't found the right place for your whole family to understand God. If you're raising your hand, this one's for you.
I know a lot of people see kids' church as childcare, but we see it as an opportunity to lead our next generation to Christ. And so we do a lot of hands-on activities, games, object lessons, science experiments, anything to pique their interest so that they're learning and growing, but they're also having fun, because we want them to know that their relationship with Jesus, their faith, their time at church doesn't have to be boring. It can be fun all the time.
You see, at Rust City Church, they understand that giving our children a safe and responsive place to learn is a priority. Taylor Irving took a leap of faith to take on the task.
I chose to leave my full-time position as an occupational therapist just because I felt God was calling me to this position. I love being at Rust City because it felt like I got to come home when I got here, and so now I get to help lead the next generation towards their new possible. So it's a pretty cool gig.
Every detail within their classroom space has been designed to encourage learning about life and about God at every age.
We pride ourselves on being clean, safe, and fun. And so if we're not doing those things, then they really can't move forward and pay attention and learn. And so we tried to map out the space so that it was safe for them, that they could come in and be comfortable and have fun. And so it's nice and clean for them so they can pay attention and learn and do what they're supposed to do while they're here.
Laura Jacob is a mother of 3 and has been attending and participating in Rust City events from the beginning.
We've done a lot of life here. When we came here, I was pregnant with our oldest, so all of our kids have been born into this family. And so it's just become like a really tight-knit group of friends, and we've just grown to have such a great bond with this place. It's not just a church to us, it's like just part of our everyday life.
As her role within the church has grown, so has her children's. And for their son Maverick, the growth has been remarkable.
We have have one child who has special needs, and they've always made him feel very comfortable. There's been a lot of interventions made, and even to the point that, you know, he feels so comfortable participating in a Sunday service, he volunteered a few weeks ago to pray for everyone on the microphone. So he just has been able to really flourish in this environment. They've made him feel very welcome and comfortable.
Welcomed and comfortable. That is the goal. And so far, so good at Rust City Church.
I am always blown away that I actually get to serve in this position. It's an honor to be able to help teach them and help them grow and make sure that they feel loved and safe when they're here and that they get to experience Jesus in a real way. We strongly believe that our kids don't have a kid-sized Holy Spirit or a kid-sized faith, that they can be at the same level as our adults, and so we try to engage them and educate them and show them what's possible. That just because they're little people doesn't mean that they have little potential, that there's a lot that they can do. There's a lot that they're capable of, so.
See, they take care of the kids. Thank you, Rust City, and you guys have taken care of us all afternoon. We're so
we can't
grateful.
Thank you enough. Don't forget, they're on DoorDash. You don't have to come if you don't want to. They'll bring it to you. You guys do some catering, right?
Yes, we just started the Montes catering. Mel from Red and Mel's Tasty Temptations.
Yeah.
The apple pie that you had.
Oh God, and the cinnamon chunk we had. So
Amazing.
good. It was so good.
She's organizing the catering section of it, and we've already had 2 shows, and they've been successful. And people like our food.
That's awesome.
They most certainly should, as they should also like you guys. What a special family, what a special place. Thank you so much for having us. They are open 7 days a week starting at 6 a.m. So just log online and then their menu is there. Like I said,
Wednesdays
you can order.
is liver and onions.
Super
Tuesday,
fast.
what's the wing day? Thursdays. Fridays, the fish fry.
Yep. Yes, that's very popular. People love our fish.
I bet.
People
They come right out of the lake?
No.
Just kidding. Not that
Like,
fresh.
really?
But they come from what?
People come from all around for our fish. They tell us we have the best in the county.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Wonderful to meet
Hey, you guys, can you gather around the back? You've done so much work.
I
Just
know.
gather around the back while we
Get over
we're just
here,
going to wrap the show up.
Right, we're going
and
to tell
show-
everybody how to watch us every single Sunday at 4 p.m. on the WBCB, ValleySpotlight.com. Follow us on Facebook. This is a whole family affair.
Yeah.
And before we say goodbye, we'll leave you with our retro commercial, Michael, which will be
from Arby's. Thank you again, Steel Light. Let's go back in the day to an Arby's commercial.
DJs love Arby's. LPGs love Arby's. You and I love Arby's. You and I love America's roast beef. Yes, sir. VIPs love Arby's. DDSs love Arby's. You and I love roast beef at Arby's. You and I love roast beef at Arby's. Tender and juicy. America's roast beef. Yes, sir.
If you like this video, subscribe to Valley Spotlight on YouTube and be sure to click on the notifications bell so you know when we've got some new stuff. You also can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to us on Vimeo or our Roku channel.